Orlando, Florida, Christina.
Yes.
Election Integrity Conference, and we want to introduce Cynthia Harris,
Yes, we do.
local to Orlando,
Yes.
and she has been making some national news lately because she discovered ballot harvesting going on in her own fair city.
Yeah.
And welcome to the Conservative Commander Radio Show, AUN-TV.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So good that you're with us. You're courage and courageous person.
Yes.
Seriously.
I read about you driving down here.
Yeah, we did.
We had a 1,000-mile drive to get to the conference last night, Christina.
Yeah.
And but no, you found that these groups are paying $10 per ballot to harvest in the communities here in Orlando. And I want you to talk about that.
Right.
So I ran for office the first time in 2014.
Okay.
And this was the first time that I filed a complaint. I filed 3 complaints.
Wow.
So one was with Department of Justice, one
Right.
with the state of Florida, and the other one was with FDLE, and nothing happened. This has been going on, to my knowledge, more than 2 decades.
Wow.
So there were others that were before me that made complaints as well. However, at the end of the day, nothing was done about those either, because those people have friends who have friends that work behind the scenes, and so when the paperwork comes in, it's like, okay, we were already told about this one, and then they toss it to the side and nothing happens.
Wow. Now this made America wake up a little bit with Dinesh D'Souza's movie 2,000 Mules
Yeah.
earlier this
That's
year.
true. Absolutely.
But it wasn't just the 2020 election where this has been going on. You experienced it yourself.
Correct.
And so you want to highlight this
Yeah.
corrupt act and talk a little bit about how did you become a whistleblower?
Yeah.
Well, as I said, in 2014 was the first time that I filed a complaint.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was going on way before I even thought about running for office.
Isn't that amazing?
Our current mayor for the city of Orlando was indicted for the same very thing. He and the ballot broker were arrested.
Mr. Demings?
No, would be Dyer, Buddy Dyer.
Okay.
And he's our city mayor.
Okay.
And so he was suspended for about 60 days, and then he's still our mayor.
Wow.
20 years later.
Amazing.
So our viewers can get, and we can learn too.
It's amazing.
What is ballot harvesting?
Yeah.
So what happens is elderly, blind, disabled, and minority persons of color are targeted because they wouldn't come to your house and ask you for your ballot. It only happens in poor,
lower income.
Yeah. So what they do is they come to your house and they already get a file from the supervisors of elections, because it's public information, who asks for an absentee ballot request.
So there's recordings of that.
Right. So when they get to your house, they'll say, "Well, hi, I understand you received your absentee ballot. Have you voted yet?"
Yeah. Right.
And you say, "Yeah, I already voted. I've already turned it in." They'll go on to the next person.
Sure.
If you say, "Well, no, I haven't voted yet, but I received my ballot," and they'll say, "Oh, well, such and such candidate is a good choice."
Oh,
And so
goodness.
So then they'll help you fill it out, because usually when you're talking about elderly people or people that may be legally blind, they need assistance with filling out their ballots.
For disabilities.
Right. So, I can come over and I can help you out here.
Right.
And
let me do this for you.
Let me let me help you pick the candidate we want. So if you've already filled it out, usually they will, if it's not their candidate, a couple of things could happen. It'll never make it to the polls, or the ballot could be spoiled because they'll either mark it so that there's duplicate markings on the ballot so it doesn't count.
Wow,
And
so they have a bunch of ways they can affect an
Many
election once they
ways to
get
do that.
Right.
in person with
Yeah.
these people with ballots.
So, customarily, as a kid, I remember that the insurance man would come and pick up your premiums.
Right.
So it's still the same concept that
Yeah, it
you're
is.
trusting that the insurance man is going to pick up your ballot, which is your premium, and take care of your life insurance policy. So
Wow.
Now, is there money exchanged sometimes for this?
So usually what happens is the ballot brokers are
Ballot brokers.
they are the ones that are collecting. They're the ones receive the payment.
Ah.
So if I came to your house, I'm not going to pay you for your ballot, but I'm going to find a way to manipulate you to give you your ballot. So we've had cases like in Edenville where the former mayor over there was arrested for picking up ballots.
Whew.
So he owns a hotel. So what my understanding is if you own a hotel and in this climate people barely have a place to stay.
Right.
Sure.
Maybe you'll give them a couple of dollars off their rent.
If they vote for you or vote
Get
this
them
Vote
way.
for their
by all
candidate,
means.
correct.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Right.
So there are numerous ways that the vote can be disenfranchised. If you go to public viewing on election day when they spread out the ballots, it's only one precinct, one district, which is the African American community that's affected. You may see where the ballot may have been sealed and they've steamed it open and then they re-glue it back together,
Wow.
or pieces of tape, or
That's up.
back before the postage was paid by the taxpayers, they would say, well, I'll give you a stamp, I'll mail it off for you. And
We'll
then
take
you're
care
like,
of it.
so you'll see stamps because
that's
they
something.
buy the stamps in bulk.
Right.
And just various ways that these things can happen.
So you ran before, and now recently you're pulling the plug on this.
Yeah.
And Florida has a new election crimes division.
Correct.
And you've worked with them. You're working with them as we speak,
Yes.
Yeah.
highlighting this. Now, so there's the potential here for people to go to jail for running more or less a ballot cartel.
Yes.
True. Exactly.
You suspect this has been going on quite a while.
We have evidence that it's
Wow.
been going on for quite some time.
Wow.
Look, we just
Yeah.
want to say thank you. We're running short of time, though. And Cynthia Harris, you're a true patriot.
Yes.
And we thank you for the truth sets people free. Thank you for providing that truth.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless again.
All right.
you.
Thank you for inviting us. Big time. Yeah.